Hi, I think we can start now. I'd like to
Great.
welcome everybody to the webinar today. I hope everyone's doing great and staying safe. We have Norman with us, joining us to host the session today. Thank you, Norman, for doing this even when you're away. And I'd like to welcome everybody. If there are any questions, please leave them in the chat box and our team will get back to you shortly. Please make sure you stay till the end so that, and we have an exciting quiz for you at the end so that, you can win some exciting prizes. And over to you, Norman. You can begin now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Subi, and thank you for the introduction. Uh, it's been my pleasure talking to and interacting to Qatar audience, and this particular session is very special because it is one of my favorite topics, that is the hyperconverged infrastructure. Moving forward, actually, HPE is always been about innovation. They are always being the leaders in the quadrant, bringing up outstanding solutions and catering market with the solutions with actually is required to the for the customers to meet their technical objectives as well as business objectives. My name is Norman, and I worked in Redington as a pre-sales specialist, and specifically my core areas are in the hybrid IT platform. That means that all those servers, storages, cloud, and all hybrid cloud environment. So we can obviously discuss on specifically today on this HCI solution. Okay, this particular topic says that reimagining HCI to make it further with HP HCI 2.0. That actually elaborates that we are talking a bit one step ahead of HCI, and I'm sure that everybody is already been good enough to know about the hyperconverged environment. And those who don't know that hyperconverged infrastructure is the compact solution that brings your servers, your storage, your networking, your management into one single platform. And we would be obviously seeing the differences between the traditional hyperconverged infrastructure, and there are like a lot of other vendors who are also coming up with the hyperconverged infrastructure, like Nutanix is there, like the Dell VxRail is there. And so I would be discussing what makes HPE a different contender altogether. So we would be there are like a lot of points to be discussed in this presentation, and we'll carry forward for that. Okay. And I have this email address of mine mentioned over here. So if you have any queries, any questions, even after the webinar, after this session, so feel free to just drop me an email. So first things first, we just ask this question to ourselves, and also ask these questions to our end customers as well, that are we ready for a change? So what change we are talking about? One of the change which we have already experiencing in the current pandemic situation, that IT has been challenged to a next level, that people are now working from home. Schools are the students are working from students are like taking lectures from home. And people are obviously for all financial institutes, or all other institutes, specifically the hospitality, or specifically the hospital, the healthcare industries, all are impacted. And there is a change coming up, not even this particular change, but there is a change in the infrastructure. There is the change in the overall environment of the IT. And these things, this change is actually challenging the IT, that what maximum you can do. So there is a pressure to do more with whatever infrastructure we have, whatever less we have. Okay. And this brings up in the infrastructure complexities. And the IT environment is constantly firefighting. That means that they are working for keeping the data centers lights on always, and investing their time in troubleshooting. So what we have to offer, the hyperconverged infrastructure actually solves like, a lot of problems like that. As we already discussed in the beginning of the presentation, the hyperconverged infrastructure is basically a compact node of servers, storage, networking, and atop of that, a hypervisor layer or any management layer on top of that. So that this reduces the infrastructure complexities, and it brings up in a compact environment, that you would be having one single node catering all your requirements for your servers, your storages, your networking, your hypervisor like VMware or Hyper-V, whatever the hypervisor is on the top. So the point is that it's simple to deploy, it's simple to manage, and it is simple to scale as well. Scaling, it's very simple. That means that if you are running out of resources, so you have to add another node on top of that. Okay. So, and simple to deploy means it's completely software defined infrastructure. So it actually it provisions very fast. It is automated, and whenever you add a node in that, so it automatically it detects the node, and you're good to go. Single pool of centrally orchestrated resources. That means that whenever you are adding a resource, it would be on a single pool of the resources, and you would be having the single compute, a single storage, and a single pool of networking resources available for you. Okay. Simple to manage, that means that unified management, you would be having one single pane of glass that would be managing your server, that would be managing your network, that would be managing your storage, that would be managing your complete orchestration, your applications as well. So it means that you have the policy-based automation, removes all sort of manual work. Okay, simple to scale. We already discussed that. Smart, like you have to start small, and depending on your load, your workload, your virtual machines, you scale up depending on by adding some of the incremental nodes out of that. So it's easy to upgrade software and hardware because you already have everything, and it is always available in a single pane of glass. So this is the uh, convenience which is bought by the HCI solution. Okay, but actually this is not the topic of the presentation. We actually promised that we would be giving you a next level of HCI. So what is that? These are all the benefits of HCI, yes, we agree. But the thing is that it also brings some sort of trade-offs as well. What sort of trade-offs which we are discussing on? Whenever we are adding a node, we are just trading off some of the performance penalties, high variable latencies at scale, and business risk impact. That means that no data, no app with failure, wasted resources. That means that I have whenever I am planning to scale up, I have to add an entire node. The entire node comes up with its own CPU, with its own software, with its own storage environment. So there are like lots and lots of design principles, design rules whenever we are talking about HCI. So whenever we are planning to some scale up, for example, like if we are running out of any storage requirements, so we have to add a node. So that node would bring its processor, own RAM, own capacity of the hard disk. Okay, that means that you are actually wasting resources because it's a linear and it's fixed scaling. That is been used. That is like this is the problem with all HCI vendors. Even though the HCI of HPE, which is the HPE Simplicity, we have to add an entire node. Even though if you talk about Nutanix, we have to add an entire node. Even though if you talk about VxRail, we have to add an entire node. Okay, so this is something which is wasted resources. So what solution we have in order to be more efficient? More efficient means that if you want to add a storage, we only need to add the disk, or we only need to add a capacity. And if you want to add a compute, we only need to add a compute. Why we are adding a storage when we only need a compute? So this is the solution. So we need to rethink of the complete HCI infrastructure. How what is the next level of HCI infrastructure? So think about that if we could have a hyper converged infrastructure that we talked about, and also we have talked about on the trade-offs. So if we don't have any trade-off, what sort of solution that would be? So we have something called HCI 2.0. The older name of this HCI 2.0 was disaggregated hyperconverged infrastructure from HPE. It has been rebranded, and it has been there into the market since like a decade now. And we have rebranded it as HCI 2.0. By the combination of HPE Nimble storage and the ProLine servers, now we have a leverage of having the HCI infrastructure, but also we have removed the trade-offs. Like if we want to scale up or scale down or scale out, so we have complete flexibility of having if you want to have only storage to be upgraded, if you want to have only compute to be added, if you want to have only RAMs to be added in order to accommodate the resources. So we are good to go. That would give you all the benefits of the HCI. That is like intelligently simple, absolutely resilient, efficiently scalable. Absolutely resilient means that we are covering the resiliency at the storage level as well as the compute level. Efficiently scalable, this particular point I would be discussing throughout my presentation, that how these nimble solutions are extremely scalable solutions. Intelligently simple means that on top of the all of the features of the HCI, plus or removing all of the trade-offs, we also have something called HPE InfoSight. That is like your storage is now intelligent. And I would be also discussing on the later side how the info sites benefit the intelligence of the storage. Now, this particular slide talks about a little bit about the competition's comparison. Okay, and this comparison is not done by HP. This comparison is done by many of the third party like Tech Targets and other companies who actually review the products and come up with some of the solutions or some of the summaries that this is the outcome of the solution. So it says that HCI is made to do more than a traditional HCI. That means that it is 10% more faster application performance, 4% more reliable on business critical applications, and 5% more efficient for the better economics. Okay, note that actually this is the comparison done with Dell EMC VX Trail versus HP Nimble Storage 2.0 using 100 TB effective capacity, ability to withstand of minimum 2 drive failures of a triple mirroring, because you already know that in Nimble Storage it has its own proprietary RAID system, which is called a triple parity RAID. Triple parity RAID would give you up to 3 drives fault tolerance. That means that if your one drive failed, your two drive fails, your second drive fails, your third drive fails, still your data is secure and it's working fine. So it's more reliable than a typical RAID 6 system. Okay, so hyperconverged experience from install to upgrade. So this particular slide specifically focuses on the HCI 2.0, what actually it can deliver. It is simple to deploy. That means that 50%, 15 minutes to rack to app with a server storage automation. Only in 15 minutes, the setup has been done. And rack to app means that you are eligible to access your application within 15 minutes. Along with these the servers and storage automation will be done. And it is simple to manage. Obviously it's VM centric services and resource management. That it's the vCenter plugin that the admins are already been aware of or already been familiar with. And it's the same plugin to be used for managing the complete stack, that is all your compute, all your storages and all. So the nimble storage would actually blend into the environment, and you would be only seeing the dashboard of VMware vCenter. Simple to scale up and upgrade. This is one of my favorite feature in this HCI 2.0. That is very simple to upgrade. That means that you don't need to worry about what EXXI version I'm running on, what operating system I'm running on, what challenges I would be facing when I'm trying to upgrade my operating system in one of the VMs. So it takes care of everything at the background. So this is the feature is called one-click software upgrades. Simple to support, predictive support, automation, and problem prevention. This is one of the good feature, which is like taking up the HPE support to the next level through the integration of the info side. That means that you'll be having this predictive support, and automation means that your level 1 level 2 support, these sort of cases would be automatically resolved through info side without any manual intervention. And problem prevention means that InfoSight would also give you the root cause analysis of the problem, because the thing is that we only don't need to solve a problem by raising a ticket. We also need to know the root cause of that particular problem, why it actually occurs, so that we can prevent this particular problem from occurring next time. So this is the obviously the vCenter VMware vCenter the dashboard, and it says that how it is been software defined. Your all compute, your storage, abstract and managed through VMware vCenter, and it is like auto discovery. So whenever any node of DL360 has been added, or any new computer or any new storage resources has been added. So it is added automatically to the cluster, and it has been auto discovered. All virtual volumes are there. That means that LUN provisioning is completely abstracted from the admin, and policy based automation is there. That means that your VM centric snapshots and clones and the data recovery and data production is also been there. Means that you can easily have some policy based backups, weekly or yearly or more monthly. You can set up your VMs to having those backups to be done. Integrated planning, this works along with the info side. It is like predictive stack wellness and resource optimization, because info side would tell you that what is the health of the stack, what preventions you need to take, what remedies you need to take. And obviously one click upgrades, which we discussed in the previous slide, that it is like simplifying your life cycle management with a single click non-disruptive software upgrades is there. So all enterprise grade capabilities are there without any complexities. That is the feature of the HCI. And on top of that, we have something called this InfoSight, that is the global intelligence. See, InfoSight is basically, it's not a ghost, it's not a magic. Actually, InfoSight is basically, and the artificial intelligence that has the trillions of data footprints, that would give you a rich amount of database of the problems of the occurring problems, or and the performances issues, uh, and all sort of all sort of performance glitches, and it takes a note of it. For example, like if any bug is there, so if it remediates, so it learns that how the bug was removed. And if the similar problem occurs in your environment, so it already has a solution. So it automatically optimizes that particular environment, that particular virtual machine in such a manner that you don't even know that the problem has been resolved. So this is called like integrated wellness and planning. You also give it would also give you some root cause performance issues, like what was the root cause of that particular problem. Pinpoint some noisy neighbor virtual machines, like it would tell you that, say, this particular virtual machine is having a higher latency, and what is actually the reason of that particular VM to be that particular high latency. Repurpose of underutilized hosts, that means that it is something called DRS, that it would obviously reallocate the virtual machines to the hosts that are that less busy, and optimize with recommendation. That means that your infrastructure would be optimized to the best practices available, and that particular best practices are extracted from various other HCI 2.0 solutions working on a proper optimization. So this would help you to understand that what actually better industrial standard I can do to make the most of this solution. So this all everything is been done automatically. And the beauty is that this particular info site would not only tells you the storage problems, but also it would tell you about problems like if it is occurring on a network, if it is occurring on a compute, if it is occurring on any application, or any of the hypervisor, like VMware, or any sort of databases like Oracle or SQL, even though we have a support for containers and DB as well. So most important thing, that this info site is free. Like it is not being charged for any sort of subscription or any sort of licensing, or any sort of base license to be purchased to enable info site. It is inbuilt in the this HCI solution. So you don't need to worry about that, whether I should be buying this InfoSight software separately. So and these all features are included. So this was the virtual machine level latency, which I was talking about in the previous slide. It shows that by the color combination, it shows that, see, what is the underperforming VM, what is the root cause of and diagnostics, and you can single click on each and every VM and check it out, what is actually the problem, and where the problem is actually occurring. It is like context aware recommendation and optimized performance as well. It would also give you some remediations recommendations. For example, like if one of the VM is running on the older ESXi version, and if the performance can be better on a specific workload, if you can upgrade that particular ESXi, So it would give you a recommendation, and it's up to you that if you want to act upon it and improve the performance like that. So what we have now, we have this transform support experiences. That means that now you have a predictive analytics, and all those level 1 and level 2 cases are automatically generated and resolved by InfoSight without any manual intervention. So all those small issues, like if whatever issues which InfoSight already have the remediation with, it would be considered at the InfoSight level. And if the issue is not there in the InfoSight database, if for example, if it's a new issue, so it would raise a case automatically to the level 3 engineer, and we would call you. That means that you don't need to worry about calling and raising a support case. HPE would call you from the front that, see, you have some sort of issue in your stack, so how can we help you? So this actually reduces your support time. The average hold time is less than 1 minute only. And our rating is somewhere around like 4.91 out of 5, the support, if you talk about the support satisfaction. So this is the next level of transformed support experience which we are giving to you. And last but not the least, we also give you some rapid root cause, that one call support with full stack experience expertise. That means that you don't need to worry about the pinpoint of whether the issue is lying on the storage, whether the issue is lying on a network, whether the issue is lying on a compute part. The complete stack support is there with one call, ready for demanding an application. Now we are talking about something called inside the HCI solution 2.0, that what actually it has to offer. First of all, it offers you availability, which is like 6 nines guarantee of the data availability. One small point which I have already discussed, which is like triple parity RAID, that is even better than a RAID 6. Sub milliseconds latency as low as 200 microseconds data response with HPE Nimble Storage all flash arrays. The Nimble Storage all flash arrays are tremendously fast, and the response time is 200 milliseconds. And normally it has been used for all sort of databases like SAP or Oracle or SQL. And you can also use it for some general purpose fast transaction data. It is fault tolerant. That means that there is no single point of failure. All hardware redundancies are taken under the consideration, with the ability to tolerate 3 simultaneous die failures, triple parity RAID, which we have already discussed. Plus, we have data protection inbuilt. That means that backup your more frequent data, recover faster with the application consistent snapshots and advanced replication. That means that there is data protection mechanism already inbuilt within this DHCI or HCI 2.0 solution. And that means that you can back up your all, yeah, most frequent virtual machines. Either you want to back it up on any sort of secondary storage like store ones, either you want to back it up on certain sort of the other backup server, something like that. And you can also recover faster with application consistent snapshots, because that particular snapshot would be application consistent, and using the advanced replication feature of Nimble. Encryption is also inbuilt. Application level encryption is also there for secure data sharding. Okay, so these all points are there, which would be considering as there are the advanced features available in HCI 2.0. Now let's talk about the scalability. It is like the beauty of this HCI 2.0 is that it is independently scalable, and the scalability can be like on a vertical and a horizontal, like scale out or scale in, whatever you want to do. Now, let's take an example. Like we have these compute on our x-axis, or on the horizontal axis, okay, and we have storage on the vertical axis, okay. So if you want to upgrade and the compute, so we have a leverage to add some compute nodes. We also have a leverage to have some storages. Like, for example, like if you want to only increase the storage, or you only want to increase the capacity, so we have so you just need to add disk in the Nimble storage, and you're good to go. And if you want to only increase the compute, you can only increase the compute like DL360s or DL380 servers, and again you are good to go. So that means that you are not over provisioning over here. You are only upgrading what actually is needed for you. For example, like in any virtual machine, if you want to only increase the capacity, the overall capacity, to give more capacity to specific VMs, so you can only upgrade the storage part. So you would be having more data stored, and you can allocate more space or more capacity to the specific VMs. So this means that you don't need to upgrade or add any resources on the compute side. Add only what is needed, and upgrade transparently. That means that your resources, your workload, that what actually upgrade or what actually addition do I need for that specific virtual machine. So this is the idea, that we are giving you some independent scaling. Okay, and this is one of the most important feature that IDC has also been notified, that saying that this nimble storage and the combination of this DL360 servers along with the networking part, this would give you the independent scalability option, and also give you a complete HCI experience. That means that you would be having a single pane of glass, and you would be running your vCenter plugin, and you would be managing your complete infrastructure, not only the servers, but also the storage part, the compute part, the networking part as well. So this is how it works. Disaggregated scalability. We'll start with small. We just consider two nodes, minimum two nodes, and one nimble storage. And if you want to increase, okay, so we have like scale out, we can go up to 32 nodes like that, and all 32 nodes, and you don't need to increase the storage for that. So storage would be one nimble storage. And if you want to increase the IOPS for that, so there's no over provisioning. So start what you need. I don't need to add a storage, so I'm not adding it. So in future, if I want to add a storage, then what I did, I have just increased the disks. Okay, and now if you see, my capacity increased. My capacity increased to 184 TB, and my IOPS also increased. But now I want more performance. So what I did, I changed the controllers, all flash 80 controllers. Okay, so I'm getting more IOPS now, but my capacity is the same, because I don't need capacity anymore. In future, if I need capacity, okay, so I can need I can add more capacities like that. So it is like scale up as well. So now my capacity is up to 2 TB. But not only this, I can go horizontal. I can also scale out as well. So now see the capacity. What I'm getting over here. This is the maximum limit of the HCI. Highly scalable. You are getting up to 32 compute nodes. You are getting up to 1.6 million IOPS, and you are getting more than 9 petabytes of storage. So that's huge. So this is one of the example that how the scalability works, and this is more than any HCI solution in the market. Not only that, this is again something which is like a beyond to the next level. Okay, we also have something called unlocking to the potential of the hybrid cloud. That means that HPE has a solution called HPE Cloud Volumes. In HPE Cloud Volumes, actually, what is happening, that many of the customers want to back up their data on the public cloud like Azure or AWS or Google. So whenever they want to do that, so they also keep in mind that they also have to bear the egress charges whenever they want to recover, or whenever they want to fetch that particular data from that particular cloud. Okay, so they have to go for the egress charges as well. And what happens when you have a multi-cloud picture in your mind, that means that I need to move data from Google to AWS. I need to move data from AWS to Azure. So what is the solution? So the thing is that we have something called HPE Cloud Volumes. Okay, that would enable to first of all migrate data to multiple clouds, and also it would enable you to save your egress charges. So this is the dashboard of HPE Cloud Volumes. for those who want to take your HCI to the next level means that now we are talking about from the private cloud to the hybrid cloud environment. So now we have the connectivity to the public cloud through HPE cloud volumes, and we what we are doing, there is nothing to manage, no egress charges, no cloud lock-in. That means that I don't need to worry about that my data has been built on AWS. Now I want to shift my workloads from AWS to Azure. So what should I do? And if I want to change my Azure to Google, what should I do? Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. So your solution of, if we talk about HCI 2.0, is capable to handle all sort of multi-cloud environment. If you want to keep your workload on the public cloud, and you have to create your data center to the hybrid cloud level. That means that you want a combination of a private cloud and the public cloud, because some of the applications might be running on premises, and some of the applications you want to run on the public cloud. So you can do that by enabling this HPE cloud volumes. So data mobility is easy, and it is native bidirectional, and hybrid cloud for backup and DR. If you want to set up a DR side, if you want to set up a backup of your core virtual machines onto the cloud, and agility for DevOps guys, obviously, because it is like quite fast. And hybrid cloud container applications, that, for example, like if your organization is running some sort of cloud native applications, so it's ideal for those sort of solutions. Currently, we have tie-ups with AWS, Azure, and Google, and so this is why we are showing these three clouds into the picture. So you can seamlessly migrate, you can seamlessly integrate, you can seamlessly uh, transfer, or just hop one cloud to another by using this HPE cloud volumes. So what we have to offer, this particular feature is one of the addition, which is known as timeless ownership experience with HPE Nimble Storage. It's storage HCI 2.0, which is like free up your Nimble HCI 2.0 automation software services info set, which we already discussed. 6 nines availability and options for the new storage controller. So this is something new. When you purchase a service called Timeless, so you would be eligible that, for example, like after 5 years or 6 years, the controllers of the Nimble storage go old or go end of life. So you can have a leverage of having the additional or the replace controllers with the new that particular of the new generation models. That, for example, like if you're talking about now, if you're talking about generation 5 now, if generation 6 comes up, so you would be eligible to have those generation 6. That obviously that would be more efficient, more fast than whatever which we have right now. So you will be having a leverage of adding those controllers in the Nimble storage if you buy this timeless. So this is like something which is called no forklift upgrade, and HP store more guarantee is there, and future proof for new technologies. That means that in future, if the workloads that are more competent, more resource hungry, so we are already ready. We have already made our investments, and we have planned our solution for next 10 to 15 years. So this is why it is named as timeless. Okay, last but not the least, this particular topic is very much important, and I think for this Green Lake platform, this solution is one of the ideal solution which comes across. The HP Green Lake is basically a solution which is a consumption based solution. That means that it would give you a cloud like experience on premises. What is cloud like experience? Cloud like experience means that you would be having pay as you go model. First of all, that means that you are only paying for what you are consuming, what you are using. You would also be having an elasticity, because we would be having a local buffer of resources available in the data center. Okay, and you would be only charged for if you use that particular buffer, or if you consume that. So in a nutshell, it would be something which is like only like if, only the data which has been consumed only the resources which are being consumed, you only have to pay for those resources, like a public cloud. In public cloud, we normally pay for virtual machines for what we are actually using. Similar stuff here as well, but it would be on premises. So we have solutions known as VM as a service. That means that number of, if what sort of number of virtual machines which you are using, so or based on that, you would be charged or achieve better performance, reduce the over provisioning first of all, and guarantee data availability, unified management, and scale on demand. Scale on demand means that if in future, if you feel that your reserve capacity is less, so we can increase that, and also just scale whenever you want to scale it. So benefits would be like obviously 30% capex savings due to eliminating the over provisioning, because you would be, for example, like if you need 20 dB of storage on day one, and in 5 years you know that within a time of 5 years I would be having 100 dB. So we are saying that don't buy 100 dB storage on day one. Okay, scale like linearly, or scale depending on the requirement, and gradually buy that particular 100 TB when actually you need that. So in this particular manner, you would be saving some over provisioning cost. 65% less time to deploy global IT projects, obviously, because uh, this particular thing, which with obviously reduce your procurement cycles. So whatever IT projects are there, so there is no upfront call, there is no heavy capex involved in buying the solution. So you'll be ready to go, and you'll be only using, you will be only consuming whatever resources. So you will be invoiced for only those resources starting from the day one. You don't need to worry about that. I need to have some upfront payments, or some upfront capital needs to be done. Similar to the public cloud. 44% less time spent keeping the lights on. That means that this particular green lake comes up with the data center care services. So everything would be taken care by HPE. So these green lake customers are obviously special customers for HPE. That so they would be taking care of your data center like it's their own data center. So you don't need to worry about your IT team to keep the lights on, or to have the troubleshooting done, and to keep the data center up and running, because HP would take care of it. 40% increase IT productivity by reducing the support load from the IT. Obviously, because HPE would be taking care of your complete infrastructure, so your IT team would be free to focus on other business goals. So this is why we have seen some 40% increase in the IT team productivity. So what is the summary over here? Summary is that get more modern cloud experience which is on premises. That challenges for the public cloud is not hidden from anybody. We know what are the challenges in going onto the public cloud. So here we have a solution that is hybrid in the nature, plus it would give you cloud like economics as well. That is like consume what you need. That means that you are eliminating the over provisioning and pay for what you use. That means that you're only paying, you're only invoiced for what you're consuming actually, and there is no upfront cost, there is no upfront capital involved. Unlocking the agility to innovate. That means that your IT staff would be obviously more fast, because they need to, they don't need to worry about the infrastructure anymore. So they need to focus on the business objectives, and and so they actually are unlocking their skill set for the business, for the innovation, for the upcoming projects. So this is why HPE GreenLake for HPE Nimble Storage HCI 2.0 works, because actually it's a highly scalable solution, and it's an independent and flexible scalable solution. So we think that this is the ideal candidate to go for the GreenLake mechanism, GreenLake model. HCI experience without rip and replace. So this is one of the beauty which is again standing out from the competition. That means that if you are willing to upgrade your infrastructure, for example, like any tech refresh is coming up, okay, so we can use your existing infrastructure like DL380 servers or DL360 servers to build up the HCI 2.0 solution. So turn your ProLine DL servers into a private cloud now. It's like something called just develop a data center which has the capabilities, which has the enterprise grade features of the private cloud, plus unlock the same. I would just add one more point to this particular slide, that not only the private cloud but also unlock your horizons to the hybrid cloud environment by adding the cloud volumes, by reaching to the public cloud and coming back simultaneously without investing any sort of egress charges for that. Plus you would be also eliminating the cloud lockdown lock-in as well. So this is how it works. We have two type of deployment models. One is called the greenfield. Greenfield is basically a new solution, scratch solution, from the box solution, okay, which is comprising of nimble storage. First of all, nimble storage comes up with two flavors. One is the HCI, one is the AF, all flash, and second one is the HF. HF means the hybrid flash. Both solutions are pretty much fast and full confident enough with with all features. The hybrid flash actually uses the combination of the spindle disk as well as the SSDs, and all flash uses the full SSDs, all flash for specifically for the databases or and transactional data. Then we have our dear ProLine servers of generation 10. Obviously, the generation 10 would be like either it's 1U DL360s or 2U DL380s. Or also we can support DL560s, 580s as well. And on top of that, we have data center level switches, which is like either it's HPE or Aruba switches. That would be like obviously 10 gig switches. So a complete solution is based on 10 gig ISKZ. That would give you a complete SCI 2.0 experience. This is the hardware side only. Obviously, the software side, the VMware licenses are separate. So that would be also taken under consideration. But this is the hardware picture of that. Now, what is brownfield? Brownfield is actually more interesting. If you have specific standard servers, if like for example like new ProLine servers or existing ProLine servers which are like generation 9 as well, generation 9 or generation 10. So this is the more greater opportunities for you guys, for the partner community, that if a customer has the generation 9 ProLine servers or generation 10 ProLine servers, and they are using the traditional environment, so we can convert them to HCI 2.0, and that would be leveraging all those beautiful features which we have discussed throughout the presentation. So by just adding this nimble storage, either all flash or hybrid flash, we can convert the solution, the existing environment, into HCI 2.0. Either like just talking about the competition, in our competition, you have to buy the complete HCI node with specific design principles. But here we can leverage the existing DL380s, DL360 servers, either in the combination, whatever they have. Okay, just have to be on the standards of so that we would make sure that whatever performance which we are promising, we can actually deliver that performance. So just to make sure that we are involving this existing generation 9 and generation 10 servers. HPE ESXi image required, obviously, because they would be using their VMware ESXi image. And if you also have 10 gig switches of good quality, that would be also good. So that those 10 gig switches would be used as a top of the rack switches. So complete infrastructure would be built by using your existing infrastructure. So you will be saving some investment on top of that. This also applies for the Green Lake as well. But the Green Lake would be only for for whatever the new equipment that would be there. For example, like here in this one, the font which is on the brown, that is customer's existing environment, and the white one, which is the new equipments. So whatever new equipments are there, we can obviously go for the Green Lake model on top of that. So we can have the consumption analytics on top of that. So just to do a deep dive, what actually inside the Nimble storage HCI 2.0, we have from the bottom, if we see, we have storages which of generation 5, which is like HF means hybrid flash. We have all flash, and we have all flash SCM. SCM is the latest technology, storage class memory. Then we have compute, which supports the AMD processors, obviously DL325, DL385, Gen 10, Gen 10 Plus. We have Intel 560s, 580s, Generation 9, Generation 10, ProLine DL360s, DL380s, and must be having a 10 gig networking, obviously, because we would be connecting these switches, these servers to a 10 gig switch. Hypervisor, we support VMware vSphere 7.0 or 6.7. 6.5 on only on the brownfield if you have the existing DL360s, and you already have the existing 6.5, so only for the brownfield. Then for management, we have various options. We can orchestrate with VMware vCenter, integrated DSCI stack setup, stack manager, stack upgrades, everything is included into one single pane of glass. You don't need to go with this separate stack managers and stuff like that. You can only use VMware vCenter for everything. Then we have two validated 10 gig network switches. So validated means that we want to make sure that it has enough throughput switching capacity to switch the data from one point to another, and it should be having this specific 10 gig ports to communicate with the DL servers as well as the Nimble storage. So this is one of the case study, which is actually not for UAE or for GCC. It is like, but actually it shows that a specific use case, that how HCI 2.0 helped in a VDI solution. With the HPE Nimble Storage HCI 2.0, we can now provide a superior VDI solution for our 380 plus VDI users plus 400 plus sales representative working remotely due to our changing business models and COVID-19. In the past, we are using AWS for our VDI workloads, but the cost was too high for us. And HPE Nimble Storage 2.0, we are able to reduce the operating cost by 50%, improving our performances by 2%, two times, and our VDI workloads, and achieve 50% faster application provisioning. So there is one more link as well if you want to see the press release, what actually the customer has benefited with. So this is the actual thing that just think twice whenever we are thinking on the public cloud. So what would be the cost? Because the most important thing is that uh, it is like to actually design in a way that it would be like a very much cost effective. And here in 2.0, you are getting a complete solution, complete scalable solution, and complete flexible solution. And if you want to add the existing investments, you can also leverage that as well. So in a nutshell, what we have learned that this HCI 2.0 is like running faster, accelerated application, 15 minutes rack to app, and end of firefighting now, because we are giving you 6 9 availability, optimize everything, drive productivity and resources efficiency, zero wasted resources, because now we are eligible. Now we have a power to scale up, scale out, and also scale up, scale out on the compute and storage individually. So this is from my side. And if you still have any questions, any sort of concerns, so just reach out to me, reach out to Redington team. And I hope this specific presentation, this short presentation, was very much useful and very much informative for every one of you.
We'll be moving to the quiz now. I'm just going to drop the link here for you to access the link